Okay, so in this section, we're just going to do a quick run through of the PDF handout that hopefully, if you want to, you could even put on your wall. Steps for dealing with triggers. So we've basically just taken the emotional responsibility steps or components and just kind of point formed them, for the most part, onto one piece of paper.
So a trigger has transpired. And when you're beginning to feel upset or angry,
first thing you do is pause and take a deep breath. Breathe into the infinite space between the breaths. Pause there with your breath open and relax as you exhale. You can do that more than once, but sometimes once is enough. So remember, anger comes up to protect against feeling the feelings that come up when old wounds are touched on. You are seeing distortedly through the eyes of the past.
So the second thing you want to do is contain. You want to contain your reactivity, contain your attack and blame, your defensiveness, etc. Don't act out of it. Remember, you don't want to act out of anger and cause more suffering for you or the other.
So step number three, tolerate, emotional tolerance. Feelings can be scary, but the truth is feelings won't kill us. Emotions intensify when we make them mean something. So get comfortable in the unknown. Locate and be with the vulnerable feelings. Breathe, relax, and build your emotional tolerance muscle. Build emotional capacity. Connect with your inner witness, breath and body. As soon as you use your attention to witness yourself and your intention to call upon calm and compassion, your brain and body chemistry will start to change. If the feelings are super intense and hard to contain, then pause, breathe, and take a time out. And do the steps below alone. Taking more time for the resourcing and the reflection. And that's when you can do that 14-step reflection process and then come back to the situation with emotional responsibility.
And clarity.
And compassionate, clarity. Yeah. So number 4.
Resource. Reconnect to source and self through your breath and ground by bending your knees, relaxing your ankles, feeling the earth through your feet and body. Remember, calming is needed for the thinking part of your brain to function. Come into compassion and curiosity so you can reflect and create deeper clarity.
Step number 5, reflect, not retaliate. So reflect and identify your defense behaviors and thoughts. Number 2, your vulnerable feelings and just like whens, the earliest memories of times you felt like this before. Number 3, your limiting beliefs. Identify your limiting beliefs, like I'm not good enough, and some of the others. Number 4, transform the limiting beliefs through remembering the truth. I am good enough as I am, for example. And then breathing that into your heart. So it's not enough to say the words. You want to feel the feelings. So you just keep repeating, breathing, calling it in. And if you can feel it a little more and a little more, then that's good. Doesn't have to be 100%, but if you can do that, then great. Eventually you will be able to do that. And then 5, consider the feelings and needs of the other person. So that's just 5 things to reflect on. It's just those kind of steps down from the anger, what's underneath the anger, which is your defense.
6 is to communicate responsibly with conscious-hearted communication.
And so with conscious-hearted communication, if you want to learn that in depth and just really get, the basics of that down, take our course, Empowering Communication. You will definitely not regret it. It will be a life changer. And right now we're just going to give you a little demonstration of what it might be like, and this is just a quick kind of touch-in, but to use that conscious-hearted communication, to come back after our example of the cell phone trigger, and then each taking time, imagining that we had each taken time alone to resource and reflect and get clear and find that inner clarity, and then come back and be responsible for our part in that, each of us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'll start.
Oh, I was going to start. Go ahead.
Okay. So, my love, I just wanted to say that I was not acting in my highest earlier when I came in. I asked you how your day was, and I really wanted to connect with you, and then I had this thought, and I'm kind of fatigued from work and everything, and it's like I have all these other things to take care of, and I just all of a sudden remembered I had this communication with my daughter to take care of, and I grabbed my phone and started going to it, disregarding your feelings and disregarding this sacred pact that we had here, and I really screwed that one up, and I just want to say I'm really sorry, and I won't let that happen again, because that was very irresponsible of me to do that.
Thanks. That's nice to hear. Appreciate that.
And then, of course, when you started coming at me, I became very defensive and already kind of tired from my day and everything, and I was not responding to you in a good way at all. And so I want to apologize for that as well. And I could have handled that a lot better than I did.
Yeah, I feel like I could have handled that whole situation a lot better too. Are you open to hearing just like what I realized when I reflected about that?
Yes.
Well, basically, like without getting into a whole huge long story, I realized that that one little move you made, just kind of like turning away and picking up your phone, it just brought up so much stuff that I carry in me around, like not being a part of, not feeling like I don't matter, and from just with my parents not paying attention to stuff that was really important to me and my feelings when I was young and like when I was a kid, and just, especially weirdly about like bullying and being left out and stuff. Like I just kind of saw all these like images and memories of times when I felt like that before, and yeah, it was like I was right back there believing, like feeling like that I don't matter, and just protesting against that and blaming you for making me feel that way, but you didn't make me feel that way. I carried that in me, and I know that I do matter to you, and I do matter, and I feel like next time, like if you ever do get distracted like that again, I just want to be more inviting instead of like punishing. Because I know you care about me.
Yeah, and my childhood stuff was coming up and all this too, and there's a lot of things that I realized about my just like wins when I was going through this, and my reflections. So I just, that's my stuff, and that really has nothing to do with you. I have no reason to put it on you, and so, please accept my apology for that as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'd like to say I'm actually grateful it all happened, because I've learned from this, and and I've learned what to do, better next time. And I'm really grateful that that's kind of a catalyzation to our healing. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, like, it might be kind of cool. I'd be curious to actually hear some of your stories of stuff that brought up for you, like the memories of,
Yeah, like
where did you go?
Yeah, like one time me and a buddy were trying to light this fire in this tree, and it kind of looked like a fireplace the way the roots come down and everything. We thought, oh, we'll light a fire in there, and then it kind of started catching a lot on. The fire was so big, and we kind of ran away. Anyway, to make a long story short, I ended up getting caught for that and getting in deep trouble for that. And so that amount of trouble, that how bad of a person I am, was all coming in at that moment. And I didn't really have maybe a bad intention. I just really ended up being so bad for this thing that just didn't really feel bad in my heart. So anyway, I felt misunderstood, and I suffered some pretty severe consequences for that. And so that's kind of why I guess I started retreating and
getting pretty defensive. I can understand that. And
Totally.
And as you're saying that, I can definitely remember other things you've shared with me about that feeling of getting in trouble, and just how hard and harsh.
Yeah, I mean, there's even former relationships where I just felt like I was never good enough in those relationships, and I try so hard to be good enough and to be productive enough and make enough money and be enough, and it just seemed like it was never enough. And so that kind of came up in this moment too, right? And and then basically, even when I was a kid, my dad wasn't around much as a child, and I felt like I wasn't maybe lovable, or maybe I was unwanted or something like that. And so that kind of came up a little bit too in this moment, right? So it's amazing how all these things come up to be healed in these moments.
Totally. Yeah. Aw. I love you, and I don't want you to feel like you're wrong and bad, and I just want to be able to bring up these small things in ways that work for both of us and feel good and empowering. That's what I want for us.
Me too.
Yeah. And maybe sometime we can make time, and I'll tell you some of my just whens.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Love to hear.
But maybe just not to take up more time with this. So anyways, you all kind of get the picture of just a sense of what, just coming back and owning your stuff and being compassionate to yourself and the other person looks like. And, I'm sure you all have lots of questions, so feel free to send them out and we'll answer them. All right? So happy reflecting and communicating and resourcing and emotional responsibilitying.
Yeah, have fun reflecting. Many blessings.
Many blessings.